Hi, Andrew Bell here, delighted to be with you once again. You know, finance is the lifeblood of real estate, and at no time in my 40 plus years in the industry have I seen real estate financing both as attractive as it is at present or as complex as it is at present. We all know that at present the cash rate is 1.75% and the lowest interest rates ever in the history of Australia. Having operated through periods of time where borrowing rates were as high as 18% and the real estate market was booming, it's quite amazing now to see interest rates as attractive as they are. No wonder housing affordability is as good as it is at present and why the real estate market is as buoyant as it is. However, borrowing is now more complex than at any other time in my career. The banking regulator, APRA, has imposed significant regulations within sections of the banking industry, most notably the four major banks. This came about from concerns about lending practices and in particular to rein in some of the buyer demand that APRA was concerned could undermine banks' fundamental strength. Even the banks themselves have self-regulated. As a result, there is vast differences in each of the banks' lending criteria. A little known development is taking place behind the scenes, and that is credit rating. In the US, the whole financial viability of anybody is based on their credit rating. This practice is now rapidly growing here within Australia. Every time you apply for a loan, that is noted on your file. And the more applications you make, the more suspect you become with any lending institution. If you don't have a good credit rating, you will simply not get finance of any type: car, personal loan, housing finance. This makes housing finance applications even more significant. The risk is if you don't get your finance on your first application and then you have to apply with another institution, this will show up on your rating and it runs the risk of you being knocked back on any future loans. So with all of the banks having different criteria in their lending practices, you may well find that despite being an outstanding prospect for a loan, you're simply knocked back because your bank isn't lending for investment purposes. Your bank now wants a greater deposit. Your bank is not lending into a certain postcode and any other number of variables. It really is a minefield at present, and literally banks are changing policy on a weekly basis. What was possible last week is not this week, and vice versa. APRA is certainly getting their desired effect. They've cooled mortgage lending and as such have had a knock-on effect of slowing real estate price growth in many parts of Australia. However, I've got some good news. There are many banking institutions that don't fit under the APRA regulations. While some banking institutions are incredibly restrictive, others are loosening up because they are now fitting within the new regulations. All of this highlights the absolute need to do your finance applications through a finance broker. Irrespective of whether you have been with a wonderful bank for 10 or 20 years or more, it just doesn't cut it anymore. You either fit into the bank's criteria or you get knocked back. There's no more relationships. There's no more history that counts. You know, we're very fortunate. We have Queensland's largest lending finance broker with Loan Market as part of our team. And the stories he could tell you would simply amaze you on the finance scene. The great news is that Phil and his team have access to well over 150 financial institutions. The team know the best bank to go to for any particular borrower, and they can even make behind the scenes inquiries before even putting an application in so as not to affect your credit rating. They can source the very best finance available and keep shocking people with how low a rate they can achieve for borrowers who thought they were getting great deals from their own banks. Now I could go on in great detail, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying. Many people are facing the prospect of not being able to get finance. Many people are getting finance on less attractive terms and particularly with higher interest rates than they should be paying. If you're in the real estate market or indeed just wanting refinancing, don't leave it to chance. The details of Loan Market are on screen now, so contact Senior Broker Phil Rogers and protect your credit rating. Get the best finance available and don't leave it to chance. I'm glad we can help so many at present and look forward to helping you moving forward. Thanks for your time today.